What's up? What's up? I'm about to punch you real hard in the stomach with some truth. I just came across the realization of perfectionism, how it shows up in my life, like the core of it. And I just needed to hop on and share this with you guys. Like, I just finished journaling about it, and it's like, damn, I got to see the times where I was doing homework as a kid. If I didn't get it correct, I was getting my ass beat hard. I would be punished because it would be taken on as like I'm not paying attention and I'm not trying. Part of it was because I never liked school. That was probably a big part to, do with it. But also, I understand the intentions now, right? My mom wanted me to do well and get good grades. But the strict rule that she had was I had to get A's or B's, nothing less. If I got anything less, I was going to be punished and I was going to get my ass beat. Again, pretty hard, because she shared with me after, because my father wouldn't discipline me, like he never really put his hands on me. His form of discipline was guilt. He would try to get me to feel bad, which that had its own that had its own imprint on my nervous system and my whole state of being. I'll do a different video about that. So with me being a boy, she knew that like she had to be like hard as like a woman to like hit me and like keep me in check because he wasn't doing it. And like she turned it up. I remember some vivid beatdowns. There was even one, I mean, this is kind of crazy, where like she had these army boots on because it was the 90s and I got like stomped with those. Yeah. So the times that she's helping me out with homework, like at home, if the answer was wrong in any way, I'll get in trouble for it. And I had to like constantly walk on eggshells and like overthink and double check like, hey, is this absolutely the right answer? Because if not, pain is going to follow through like really quick. And most likely it's going to be followed through with some punishment because she's helping me after she's working. And if she's not having the best of days, the fuse is going to be very, very short. Like my hot temper, like my short temper, hot-headed ways, my hot-headed ways and my short temper, I definitely got from her. Aside from her being a fire sign, she's like a Leo, full-on Leo. I'm a Sag, so it's like that fire I definitely got from her. If she's having that off day, that's coming out somewhere. And if I'm not paying attention and like answering everything like with precision, I'm getting it. And the way that showed up in life down the road, even like recently, is I would question, how much do I share? How much do I open up? Because I have to make sure that I'm absolutely correct, because the fear that I have is being proven wrong, right? Not because I don't know what I'm talking about, because I do know what I'm talking about. It's just my nervous system, the energetic part of me. This part of me as a child is still within me, right? All these parts of you are still within you. Is still afraid of the repercussions, still afraid of the impact that being shown as wrong is going to have. In what ways am I going to be punished? In what ways will I get hit? Although I have the skills of a fighter and I could fuck anybody up, that part of me is still afraid, right? That inner child is still afraid because that part of me did not know how to fight. That little kid was just trying to figure out, what do I do with these numbers? What do I do with these words? Now there's words and numbers put together. What do we do? And as I'm trying to figure out what this is, because this doesn't mean anything to me, I also now have to worry about like, what's the temperament? And I have to read the room and I have to see like, how what I'm saying is being received and like that hypervigilance that's coming into play. And because that part really didn't get any soothing unless I got like honor roll, unless I got like the A's and B's, and it's like, oh, it's safe. Okay, nothing is going to happen. And I got to see like, as I'm creating content, as I'm trying to put myself up there, as I'm going down this path of remembering who I am and, doing the remembrance work. That's how I like to refer it for myself. I'm coming across these different parts of me, and this part of me of perfectionism has been there, right? And at first I like to see it as like, I like to take care of myself. Like I like to make sure I'm groomed. I like to make sure my house is clean and everything. And I started to see all these little ways of how it was tied to my upbringing, which I know, but again, it's not until you see your unconscious patterns that they become conscious, and you see why what you were doing that at once made sense just stops making sense, right? That's something I always say. If you're trying to see what your pattern is, just understand why it makes sense to do the thing that you want to stop doing, and it'll stop making sense. And I got to see, like, for dishes, for example, not to say I'm letting them pile up, but before, when I had roommates, I felt unless the sink was empty, there was a part of me that, like, okay, my mom would get home at a certain time, because that's how it was with me and my sister, and if she came home to dishes, we're going to be in trouble, we're going to get hit. So this makes my mom sound crazy, especially with the whole boot story. She's an awesome mother, by the way. It's just, she was doing her best. She didn't know. And again, like me being a boy, she just didn't know what to expect. And I was also like rough as a kid. I started to see and make the connection, okay, in things like the dishes and keeping the place clean. Okay, I can understand that. As far as like my appearance, I still like taking care of myself, but okay, now I understand that. But I couldn't understand the whole aspect of like I had to be perfect all the time, and like how I speak and what I do, like no mistakes. And then this whole homework thing just came into play. And the interesting thing is, again, life is always giving us messages if we're willing to pay attention to what we're seeing, speaking, and thinking and hearing. And if you see it and just notice the timing of it, there's a message behind there. That's ways that life is communicating with us. And I saw this reel of this guy who's like dressed up. He's like this heavyset black dude. He's dressed up as a mom, and it's like helping the viewer, like the camera, with homework. And you can see him like asking, like, okay, if Jimmy gets 2 apples, and like he's doing like the problem, but then you see him visibly getting frustrated because the person is saying like the wrong answer. And that clicked it. That planted the seed for me to have this realization during the meditation. It's like, oh, that's what I was feeling this whole time. That's why I'm afraid of getting it wrong. Not really to not appear like I don't know what I'm talking about. It's not even so much the imposter syndrome. It's what's going to happen if that were to be true, right? Because if you want to be able to see through your fears, just see what would happen if that were true, right? Then you can hear its purpose and what it's trying to do. I could do videos on so many things, and that's why I created this channel. But I got to see that part of me was still afraid of getting in trouble. And what it takes, it's reassuring now, okay, I'm not going to beat up on myself for ever getting anything wrong. I'm not going to make myself feel bad. I'm actually going to love that part of me so much more, because that part of me is seeking understanding from me, right? The whole feeling of being misunderstood, and that's something I've been saying a lot lately. Like I've said it in some of my videos, and I said it to myself, like I just feel misunderstood, and like you have to be okay with it, which is true. But what's happening is the part of you that feels misunderstood, it wants to be understood by you. It's you. You know why you feel that way. You just haven't really connected to that part of you. You just keep making it wrong. And anytime I kept feeling like this need to be perfect and to like I have to get it right, I can't stumble my words. If I do, I need to, what's a way that I can maintain composure and continue to speak clearly? Because before I used to mumble, and I used to get in trouble for mumbling. I actually used to get hit for mumbling. Shit, I got hit for a lot of things. I'm okay. But that's the purpose of this coming up again, is for me to integrate it. And by integrate it, I mean like welcome that part of me back. Let it feel safe. It already knows what it feels like to experience the absence of love. What would happen if I did the opposite and just loved it even deeper? Like, okay, like the whole ways that you've been trying to show up perfectly, like I love your intention behind it. And anytime I may stumble a word or do something wrong or like not do quote unquote the right thing, I love that even more. Why? Because it's safe to do it. It's safe to be a person. It's safe to not have to rehearse life. It's safe to, like, if you're having a conversation with somebody, if you're just okay with whatever you say, then you get to realize, like, both of you don't know what you're going to say. You're talking on the fly, and you could trust yourself in those moments. I mean, sometimes I even used to be in my head in those moments as, how should I show up? Should I like really be a good listener? Do I talk about myself? Am I talking about myself too much? Like, I've experienced that path, and I've been able to relieve the pressure of that. And I feel this is like the remnants of the perfectionism of seeing like, oh wow, I was afraid of being in trouble. And the fact that we keep the habits that we see and learn from our parents, right? Some of what they say, I mean, there's so much, like it's the mannerisms, the jokes, beliefs. So it's only natural that like the same way we used to get punished, we'll actually punish ourselves because it just makes sense. Again, when you see something that you want to stop doing, just understand why does it make sense to do it, and it'll stop making sense. So, yeah, I want to make this one short and sweet, but it's blown my mind. Like, you can see me still processing now because it literally just happened. I just finished writing about it. And I want to make these videos as just raw and authentic as possible. Like, the next closest thing is to have you just in the room with me. So this is something that I know a lot of people have experienced growing up, getting hit being helped with homework. And if you deal with some form of perfectionism, chances are there's something tied to that, especially if you're drawn to watching this video. Like, just have compassion for yourself and just see it as just that part of you, like, still apprehensive, right? As to, like, what's going to happen if we get it wrong? What's going to happen if we say the wrong thing? And although I know this thing like the back of my hand, what will happen if, like, it were to be proved wrong? Whatever the fear is, right? That it's not perfect. What would happen? And you can feel there's like a little like there's some hypervigilance, but also like a little defensiveness and guardedness because you're protecting this vulnerable, incredible, loving part of you that's just trying its best. So just see that within yourself and love that so much about yourself, because that's been the thing that I guide myself and everybody towards. It's remembering that you're trying your best. You always are. As everybody else is in existence, everybody's freestyling. There's no like rule book to follow. There's no guidelines. Everybody's making this shit up completely. Even the people that appear to have it together, I know some of them. It's not all as it seems. So everybody's making it up. Give yourself the permission of like, hey, now we know better. It's like putting eggs in the microwave. I don't know why that came to mind. I did that like once we first got a microwave as a kid. I was like, oh, I want eggs. And I put eggs in the microwave. I wanted to boil it. And I remembered boiling it would take like 15 minutes. Yeah, I put that shit in the microwave for 15 minutes. And this was in the Bronx in New York, so I was in the living room. Nobody else was in the kitchen. And I heard, boom. I went to the kitchen. I looked. The microwave door blew open, and there were eggs everywhere. When I say ceiling, floor, walls, fridge, stove, I just looked. I was like, oh. And I just ran out the apartment, ran out the house. I went and I left the building, and I went to go play with my friends. And like as I was running out, the window was open, and I heard my grandmother like, "Muchacho del diablo." In English, it's like, "Child of the devil." Like, what the fuck did he just do? I was shook. I'm not gonna lie. She never hit me. She always yelled at me, but I made life very interesting for that woman. That was on my pop side. So yeah, it's I forgot what I even brought that up. Oh, give yourself to like know better. Now I know. Don't put eggs in the microwave. So, yeah, just keep loving yourself. So I'm wishing you an amazing day. Oh, be sure to like this, comment, subscribe. Like, let's connect. Let's drop in. Let me know how this, like, how you connect with this. Did you get hit as a kid? Did you get hit while doing homework? How do you feel about this part of you now? And what ways can you commit to truly loving yourself unconditionally, where you don't have to punish yourself anymore, and you don't have to like yell at yourself, because that's the equivalent of getting hit. It's like that internal like shame and judgment and guilt and pressure. It's literally the same energetic impact and imprint of being physically hit. So stop doing that. Put that aside. You already know what that feels like. It's not beneficial. Fuck it. Love yourself completely, unconditionally, because you understand you. You know you're showing up with the best intentions. Love that about you. Fuck everybody else. Yeah. That's a good way to end this. I'm wishing you an amazing day. If it's nighttime by you, I'm wishing you an amazing night, and I will catch you later.